Hi, I'm Chris, and today we're going to be doing a track review of the new song Parpaing from Igorrr, Mr. Gautier, whose music is always eclectic. And I know that I'm a few days late to this, but because I expect it to be incredibly interesting, I feel okay being a little late to the party. I've heard all of Savage Sinusoid, and while I do view it as a little bit of a novelty record, I have a ton of respect for the amount of skill and talent that is on display in that record, and I definitely think that it is progressive in all the right ways. And so, without speaking any further, I'm going to pop my headphones on and tell you what I think of this new Igorrr song, which features Corpse Grinder of Cannibal Corpse. So, we'll see how that goes. Okay. um, my first thought is that that was actually far more straightforward than I expected. Um, all right. I expected it to be stranger than that. Not that I'm disappointed. I did enjoy it quite a bit, but I thought that it was going to be much weirder. And I was also surprised that Corpse Grinder was doing all of the vocals. Um, I liked. So I think my favorite things about that were the drums were really great. I don't know what it is in the month of February, but it seems like every release that I've listened to has had excellent drumming on it. That's super rude. I shouldn't do that. um, and the guitar tone was pretty solid as well. It had a really, really thick death metal tone, a pretty simple riff, but a heavy one at that. And it was, well, it had a lot of chemistry with the incredibly intense and loud drums that definitely had an incredibly organic sound to them, with sort of, as a reactionary measure, the more organic drum sound, the better they sound in 2020, just because of the amount of processed and computer generated drumming that we've been getting a lot of in a lot of deathcore and metalcore releases. Um, I wasn't blown away by the song, but I thought that it was pretty good, and it makes me curious as to just how strange the record as a whole is going to be. I haven't listened to Very Noise, which is the other single that they've released. This is the first off of the new record that I've listened to, and I enjoyed it. But as I've said at least two or three times now, it was not nearly as novel or as out there as I thought it was going to be. It was fairly straightforward. There was an electronic section, of course, which began with Corpse Grinder's vocals being modified electronically, and then all of the guitar, the bass, and the drums were basically just supplanted by an electronic, almost 8-bit version of the of the instrumentals, which is not as wild a choice as I thought that Gautier might make, just because it really was just a supplanting of those elements, and then you just had Corpse Grinder screaming the same vocal lines over and over again. And I know he's a feature, but I feel like something else I should note is that Corpse Grinder's vocals, I think in general, have gotten better over time. I think that if you listen to Cannibal Corpse releases, Corpse Grinder as a vocalist has definitely grown and improved, and he sounds really good when he's given time to just let his screams sort of drone out for a little while, where it almost sounds like he's doing a tunnel throat thing, where his lows sort of shift up into mids and get drawn out into this very gravelly, strained place. So yeah, that was good. That was more or less a straightforward death metal song with an electronic section thrown in, and then of course beginning and ending with guitar feedback just to establish tonally the malevolence of the song. But it was fun to listen to. I I wish that it had excited me or intrigued me a little bit more, just because I think maybe I set the bar a little too high in terms of getting something that was wild, innovative, and perhaps even something I'd never really heard before, which was the sense that I got when I listened to Savage Sinusoid. But I enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to go listen to the full release, probably do a review of it when it comes out. And at that, I think if I were to put it on a 10-point scale, I am feeling 6.5 to a 7. I don't want you to get the impression that I didn't like it, because I did. I just think that maybe I set myself up beforehand, perhaps expecting a little bit more than it was fair to expect. And so with that, yeah, I wish I had more to talk about. I think I expected to have more to talk about, or perhaps I would have taken more detailed notes while I was listening to it. But yeah, Igorrr, Parpaing, pretty good, definitely interesting. So with that, see ya.